Ohio State 17, Notre Dame 14, in a game for the ages. It just didn't have the ending that everybody in Notre Dame Stadium was hoping for. For Fighting Irish Preview and FightingIrishPreview.com, I'm Phil Houck. Well, it was a hard fought, it was frantic, it was about as close as it could possibly get, literally coming down to what amounted to the last play of the game, except for a kickoff. And it was a heartbreaking loss. Indy needed this win tonight if they were going to slide into that elite category. It looked like they were going to do that after a couple of touchdowns in the second half, put them into the lead 14-10. And they took that. They took their first lead of this game after being down 3-0 at halftime. Then going down 10-0, they scored 2 straight touchdowns, and they took their lead at the 8:22 mark of the fourth quarter when Sam Hartman, after a nice long, it was a 96-yard drive, found Rico Flores in the back of the end zone, and with 8:22 remaining, the Irish were in the lead. They then forced a punt on the next possession, but had to punt the ball back to Ohio State, and with 1:26 to go, Ohio State was 65 yards from the end zone, and things were looking pretty promising for the Irish at that point. Amazingly, in that minute and 26, OSU ran 14 plays, and with quarterback Kyle McCord converting several just huge plays, amazing plays at times when it looked like he was on the ropes. Including a 3rd and 19 that went all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that went down to the 1-yard line with 7 seconds left in the game. On first down, McCord threw one pass into the end zone. That was incomplete, and now with 3 seconds left in the game, you're down to one play for the ball game, and OSU is able to convert on that one play, literally by inches. D. Tranium took that ball at 1 yard for the game winner. And did I mention that on that particular play, that the biggest play arguably that Notre Dame has faced for 5, 6, 7 years, Notre Dame only had 10 men on the field. Post-game, Marcus Freeman acknowledged the fact that they were aware that there was only 10 men on the field, but said that he couldn't do anything at that point. The Irish did not have any timeouts left, and so they just went with 10 players. Huge mistake. Who knows if it would have made a difference, but you certainly need to have, in a goal line situation, you need to have your full complement of players out there. Other couple of critical shortcomings by the Irish today. 2 4th and 1 situations were stuffed that cost the Irish in the first quarter. The Irish had a shot for an easy field goal, went for a 4th and 1. They could have kicked the field goal. Instead, they came up short on 4th and 1, and another 4th and 1. Sam Hartman came up just a little bit short as well. Also, Spencer Schrader missed a 37-yard field goal today. All 3 of these plays, any one of them, if they go the Irish's way today, the Irish probably end up a winner today. So Ohio State has the big win. They move on next week. They'll be at home against Maryland. And the Irish now hit the road. Duke next week. Duke is 4-0. Duke, a big winner tonight against UConn, 41-7. Duke ranked 18th. So Mike Elko, former defensive coordinator for the Irish, has the Duke Blue Devils playing some pretty good football. That will be a challenge for the Irish next week. In a way, you feel like, having lost this game in the fashion that they did, you got to think the Irish will probably bounce back, and they want to prove they're a better team than they showed tonight, albeit against a really good Ohio State team. They came up short. Notre Dame Totaled 351 yards of total offense today to Ohio State's 368. So pretty equal there. In fact, the Irish were ahead in that category most of the game until that last drive by Ohio State. Sam Hartman was 17 of 25. He had 175 yards, 1 touchdown. Pretty decent numbers for him against such a tough game. Post game, we've seen Sam Hartman, and he has been all season. Every time we've seen him in a press conference situation, he's a pretty happy guy, and why not? He wasn't happy with this one tonight. It was pretty obvious in the. You wouldn't expect him to be happy, but it really showed in his post-game comments. It was difficult for him to address the media. He answered the questions as professionally as he could, but it was obviously not easy for him. Marcus Freeman, similarly, obviously this one hurt him a lot, and he stated, "It hurts because we did not play our best." Of course, now we heard in the media covering Marcus Freeman, we didn't get a lot of what Sean Day said. We understand that he was pretty ebullient post-game, to say the least, about what his Buckeyes accomplished today in this game. Nickelback Thomas Harper also came before the media at the end, and I thought he really put this loss in perspective for the Irish. He stated, "We can still do all the things we want to accomplish," and that is true. What the Irish lost today by losing to Ohio State was they lost their margin of error. If they run the table, that's saying a lot, because they got to play USC, they got to play Clemson, they're playing Duke next week. Duke is really good, and they've got other teams that will threaten the Irish. But if you go 11-1, there's really a good chance you still make the college football playoff, particularly with such a close loss to a really fine Ohio State team that'll probably also be in the college football playoffs. But like I said, that margin of error is gone for the Irish. They got to sweep the table. But a great game today. It really was a superb game. It was a great game. It was a great day. Everything about the day was fabulous, right up until the end, until the last play. That was certainly a disappointing end to a long and great day on campus here at the University of Notre Dame. So the final score here tonight, Ohio State 17, Notre Dame 14. For Fighting Irish Preview and fightingirishpreview.com. We'll be back next week. Still a lot of football to be played this season from Notre Dame Stadium. That's a wrap.